Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of my advanced modding tutorial series. Now you might wonder why I'm here in the end. And the reason is that we're going to dive into sounds today. And our plan today is to add a sound for our flags we added. Now if you listen to the Ender Dragon's wing flapping sound, not that one. It sounds a bit like a flag, so we're going to use that. After that we're also going to show how to add our own sounds, and yeah. So let's get started. So here I am. I've added a on block activated here like last time with the World Gen tutorial in part 3. We are going to use this to play a sound when we right click the block. Now where can we play that sound? And the answer is that sounds you can play somewhere in the world. It depends on the world, it depends on a certain location where you play a sound. If you play a sound very close to the player, it will sound very hard. If you play it 100 blocks away, you might not even hear it. So it's dependent on the world, so we could look in the world and see if we can find something. Of course we can, but maybe play sound by chance. Oh, there we go. Near an entity. Near accept. Play sound, play record. That's a lot. There are a few options, some work, some don't, or they depend on which side you are. Basically client and server, and as we haven't dived into that yet, I can't explain, but this one only works on the server and this one only works on the client as far as I know. So let's check that out. So to do this, I've told you that I wanted to use the sound of the Ender Dragon, so it might be good to look at how the Ender Dragon makes that sound. So this is what you see. You're seeing Forge mod loader here, you're seeing the Minecraft source, and you're seeing Minecraft Forge here, and it should be in just the Minecraft source. Oh, there's a package called entity. So this is where all the entities are. Basic entities and all, like cows and creepers and all. And could be on a monster. Doesn't appear to be. Boss? Oh, boss. Entity dragon. So we've seen that it should be play sound or play sound effect. So if we search for play sound, it was there still. Well, we've got it already, I think. Insert an XYZ and the name of the sound, I think. I'll explain all these parameters later. So we can see other things that are happening. Oh, apparently the creature sound doesn't get played here. And there's another thing in Entity that takes care of that. But we found what we were looking for, so the name of the sound is this. So let's use that. So in our on block activated, we can do world.play sound. I'm just going to do play sound effect, which means it will only work on the server. And this might still sound vague to you. I'm going to explain how the server and client relationship works in the very next episode. That will be about networking. For now, just use this one. So play sound effect will be working on the server. We could have used play sound here, but for consistency's sake, we're going to use this method next. In another thing, we're going to use this method. So X, Y, and Z, the sound name, and this is the volume of the sound. So 1 is the default volume, so the volume of the sound, how it is stored in the file. but you can also do 2F and it will be harder, or 5F and it will be really hard. Let's just keep it at 1, and this is the pitch. So this is the normal pitch, and if you do this it will be very low, and this will be a very high pitch. So again, let's keep it at a normal pitch and start up Minecraft and see what it will do. So there we go. If we right click, we heard a sound. So I've told about volume, so we can do a very high volume or very low volume. That's a low volume. Let's put that back. And let's now adjust the pitch so we can make it really low. Or we can make it really high. Or we could maybe even make it a bit random, the pitch, so it sounds more diverse. Next, float. So this method returns a number between 0 and 1 randomly. So if we multiply that by 0.5, it will be a number between 0 and 0.5. And if we add something like that, it can be a number between 0.05 and 125. Oh, whoops. Now it's complaining because it wants to have a float, and when I don't add this, it will see it as a double. So to fix that, do that. Unfortunately, the hotcode replacement code didn't crash my client. So we can hear many pitches in here. Could make it even more apparent. Well, we could just remove this. So that's a bit random. And if you look at the Entity Dragon, you also see it does this. So it has a volume of 5 and a pitch of 0.8 between 1.1. That's what this does. Now we obviously don't want to emit a sound on right click, so what we could do is make it play a sound randomly. And Minecraft is all about random, and there's a method we can use for this. So the way that plants are growing, the way that leaves are falling apart when you break the wood, all are based on a certain method in the block. And that method, we can find that. Random. That's one of these. Block tick. On block update, I think. There you go, update tick. If we look at that, we could have seen how this works by looking at the blocks I just described. So we could look at crops. We've got an update tick. And it's growing basically in here. So we can use that. And you'll also notice that a crop does do a set tick randomly. So there are basically two ways you can use this update tick method. One way is to do it randomly, as we're going to do. And another way is to do it scheduled. So that's what repeaters are using to delay a certain pulse, but it's a constant pulse. So you can basically schedule a tick. If we do, if we try to write here, good world schedule block update, and then you can give the XYZ, the block, and the ticks it needs to wait before it will call this method. So you could use that like the repeater does. But we're not going to do that right now. So this is XYZ and a random you can use. So let's do a set tick randomly. And you're seeing I'm using this here. This isn't required. If I do Ctrl S it will be deleted. But I think it's useful because I usually don't know the exact name of a method, but I do know it somewhat. So I can do this and then it will show me all the methods that are in block. So it's handy for auto completion. So we need to tell the ward that this block can be randomly ticked. And now let's add our sound. Could just do that. We don't have a player anymore, but we can get a random over there. I didn't explain it, but in any entity there's a get random number generator or entity living based. So in any living entity there's a random number generator you can use. You could also just have done this if there isn't really any on the other option, but if you've got access to a existing random number generator, why not use it? So let's do that and try it out. So as a behind the scenes thing, again I haven't explained the relation between client and server yet, but this update tick thing only gets called on the server, so that's why we need to use a play sound effect method that is called on the server. If we have used this one, that wouldn't have worked because that only will play a sound on the client. So let's see. Let's increase the volume, and now we can hear a flag sound. I'm not right clicking anything, so there you go. So this is a very basic introduction to how to use existing sounds in Minecraft. Adding new sounds though is a different story, and we'll be doing that right now. So to add a new sound you of course need to have a sound. For this I'm going to use a website I'm using for when I need sounds, which is called freesound.org. I'll put a link in the video description. It is a library with a lot of sounds and you can freely download them. The only problem with this is that you need an account to download them. I've created one, but yeah, you will have to create one or find another site where you can search for sounds. But if I looked for a flag in the wind, you can find a lot of sounds and listen to them, and okay. That's a little bit of flapping, but yeah, I don't really like those sounds. I've selected one already. I found one, which is called this. And if you listen, it's a nice sound, isn't it? So I've downloaded it already. Only problem is it's a wave sound. Minecraft can only handle .ogg files, and to get from wave to OGG, you can just use a converter. You can use online converters. You can just Google it, and for me the first one in Google worked, WAV to OGG, I got this side. I'll again link this one in the video description. You can choose a file. You can... I've saved it this one. I've downloaded this sound already, and I now selected that one and do a convert file. It will upload it, it will convert it, and there you go, and it automatically downloaded it. And if you look in the folder, it's there. Well, let's rename it to Flag Flap. And we can take that to a new folder in our mod. So let's go over there, source, so there we are. Resources, assets, advanced mod, and on the same level as the textures and language folder, we are going to put a new folder called sounds. And that's that. Now, I could try and use this to access this file, this sound. You can put it in here. Instead of this name, you can do your mod ID. Just like with the textures, you do a advanced mod in lowercase, a colon, and then your sound name. So flag flap. Now I could start Minecraft and try if it works. It won't. It will just it will not play any sound at all. And the reason for this is you need to configure it. You need to tell Minecraft to which category of sounds it belongs. If we look at Minecraft, there's a new feature in 1.7. You need to configure the sound so Minecraft knows in which category the sound belongs. So if we look, music and sounds, you see all those categories, so you need to select in which one it belongs. So I think we're going to put it in ambient or blocks. No, let's put it in ambient. So to do this, you need to add a JSON file. In here, in the same level over here, you need to add a sounds.json. Yep. Edit it with some text editor, and then you need to, for every sound you add, you need to do this. You can put in a entry in this JSON thing, so you can do the file name, colon, opening curly brackets, and then the category, colon, and it's ambient. And you can Google for Minecraft sound categories, JSON probably, and you'll find all the categories that are available you can put in there. Or you can look up in the Minecraft resources the existing sounds and look at what those are configured like. So, it's the other way around, by the way. So this is the name you're going to use in the code. So the flag flap, and then you can do a sounds, and this is an array of all sound names in as files you're going to use for this sound. So what that means is when you put in more sounds, so you can do flag flap 2 and flag flap 3, and then if you put those not there, if you put those in here, put flag flap 2, flag flap 3, so different sounds, but which you can use for the same sound name, then the Minecraft will pick a random sound out of these three and play that. So this is used in, for example, for cows. So cows have multiple different sounds for their they're randomly running around, and then they'll sound differently. But we only have one sound, so we're going to do this. So this is the name you're going to use in code. This is the name of the file. And this is how we put it in a category. And then if you need to add more sounds, you can do something like this. And put another one there. With another name, and here another name. So that's how you do that. If we save it, we're done there. And now if we refresh, it should be in here as well. There you go. And let's load Minecraft and see if it will work. So there we go. The more times you click, the more times you hear the sound. But this is what the sound was like, and it's working great. So you can also put it in the random method over here. And it will probably annoy us. So it's a constant sound now, because the sound was quite long. To fix that, we could do something like if random.next int 10 sound now will. You only heard 1 in 10 times the random tick occurs. So that's more random. So you can play around with that a little bit more. And if you want to play sound at an entity, if you made an entity for this X, Y, and Z, you can just put the entity X, Y, and Z. Or you can use the built-in sound for the entity. And if you look at that, it in the end also uses the entity X, Y, and Z. So this is it for the episode on sounds. Thank you all for watching. Next time we'll be diving into networking, which will be a good one. So to see you all then. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.